The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Good morning, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, and ladies. Wake up! Wake up! I don't know. I just felt like it was necessary. The Cowboys in week 4, not the finish we would have hoped, but better than a loss. We'll take it. 40-40 the final to the Green Bay Packers, and it was I would like to describe it as a very, very wild game. Christy, you were on the sidelines. Tell us about it.
The energy was incredible. And, I've heard guys say forever the old sports axiom of a tie is like kissing your sister. But when you're a touchdown underdog at home and you tie 40-40, I would say this is more like kissing your hot stepsister.
Okay.
So
that's a nice.
I stole that line from Billy Bob Thornton. Yes, I know, from the remake of Bad News Bears. But wow, what a game. The good news is you allowed 40 points, but you avoided the L and came out with a tie. The bad news is you scored 40 points and still couldn't get a win.
Right.
So a lot of
tie.
the problems still persist of giving up chunk plays. The run defense was not as good last night. The Packers were effectively running the ball and getting some chunk plays on the ground. But Dak Prescott continues to play out of his mind. George Pickens really stepping up. And I just thought, what a fun, creative play calling by Brian Schottenheimer. And at the end of the game, it was exhausting, but it felt like the end of the movie Gladiator where Russell Crowe comes out, Maximus. It's like, are you not entertained? So, wow. It was thrilling. It was thrilling. It really was.
Yeah. It was bringing back flashbacks to the Giants game because, when you're in the press box for the TV people, you come down about 5 minutes before. We came down, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, I'm looking. We're going to overtime. I was like, well, if they get a chance to score, because, the new overtime rules, it's not the lame if you score a field goal, game over anymore. And then we're looking again, and I said, wait. So what does this mean? It's a tie. I said, a tie? This is awful. If we're going to be there till 11:45 at night, I feel like we deserve a win. But like Chrissy said, it's better than a loss. Kenny Clark after the game asked him about it, and all the guys were asked about, when's the last time you guys had a tie? And some of the guys in the locker room said they've never, been in a situation where they had to end in a tie. And then Kenny Clark had said, well, 1, 2, and 1 is better than, falling 1 and 3, which is, that is
so true.
That's a fact. But I think there is some positives to take out of this game. I know we'll dive a little bit deeper in here, but Dak Prescott just continues to impress. I feel like each game we're like, man, that's the best game of his career. We're saying that every week, so that is something to take away from this game. And then I liked how Pickens, I feel like he got a little heat last week. You want to be wide receiver 1, and I think he gave some optimism. I don't know if it's going to be continued. Can't just take it off one game, but he was wide receiver 1 last night. And when his number was called, he showed up. Tolbert's catch was probably my favorite play of the night because the whole press box was like, Tolbert! Everybody was so happy for him. And then when I was looking at, the broadcast when you look up, the best part was the reaction of CeeDee Lamb when Tolbert got that catch, and also when Pickens was getting his catches as well. He did have that one drop, but I think the difference was in this game, he didn't get in his own head. He knew this team was relying on him, and he came through. And there's a lot of positive, but man, I'm tired of holding my breath, guys, when the defense goes out. That's how I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah, it was the first tie since I believe November 1969 for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they at the end able to put together some drives. We're gonna dive into that offensively. What worked, or what did y'all like from this offense? Just because this was a receiver room who I won't say faced a lot of criticism, but there was a lot of doubt just because there's no CeeDee Lamb. Oh my God, what does this offense do?
It was scary in the beginning.
It was
Were
very
you
scary.
scared in the beginning? Because I was. I was like,
yeah.
oh, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, not scoring.
Honestly, it
Absolutely.
was 13-0, and just as they're lining up for that extra point, and we'll dive into that a little more. When the first time in Cowboys history, a PAT blocked and returned for 2 points for the Cowboys. But it's like here we go again. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, with the offense, the pass protection for Dak overall very good, and that's without 2 starters on the offensive line. And by the way, you were down 3 starters for that final drive of regulation and then the overtime drive because Tyler Guyton left the game. He had a cognitive evaluation in the blue medical tent, so you had Nate Thomas in as the blindside blocker. And even though they gave a lot of help, a lot of times with Micah, obviously they're double teaming and stuff, but there were some plays where they left even Nate Thomas on his own, one-on-one against Micah. They came through. So, yes, it was a valiant effort by everyone, still able to effectively run the ball for the most part, The thing is, just not being able to punch it in at that in overtime, and Micah's best play was the key one there, tackling Dak there at the 4-yard line. So you could see it opening up. It was coming right. I'm like, oh, Dak, go, 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 go. And you could see Micah closing like the lion that he is. And that was a heck of a play by Micah on that one.
Yeah, let's talk about that first scoring drive. The Cowboys, it was 32 seconds. They were able to score 14 straight points. And towards the end of the half, you get Pickens. He gets his second target, but first reception of the game. It was a first down play. Sanders forced some missed tackles. Very next play, Javonte getting skinny. Gets a first down play. There were about 6 first downs on that drive alone. They started to get a little bit more creative, what Christy had mentioned earlier, getting involved in the screen game, getting the running backs involved in the screen game. What y'all like from that drive, and how much did y'all like the way that, Shotty was able to kind of translate that into the later half of that second?
Yeah, I'd say both of those drives together, if we'll look at both, the way it was spreading around, Flournoy had a good play on there. Miles Sanders got involved, some really hard running by him on the drive that resulted in the Dak touchdown run. And you're right, the screen on third down, that was, Green Bay had a good play there. But I think you have to also credit complimentary football, the way that James Houston was able to set him up. But here's the thing, it's sudden change. Whenever there's a turnover, it's called sudden change when the offense had to run out there and they were able to capitalize. So we hadn't seen a lot of complimentary football at times this year, but that was a real positive at the end of the half.
And blocked field goal as well.
Oh,
Shout out
sure.
to Wanya Thomas. Spell for returning that in. But go ahead.
Yeah, those are the most 2 exciting points I think we seen, and I was like, I really hope these guys can make it to the end zone eventually. But no, I feel like it really set the tone how they ended the second half because how quickly they were able to score. It was like nothing. It looked like when Dak came in, he didn't have to blink, found Pickens, and like Chrissy said, to get to that point was very complimentary football. James Houston, my Twitter was going crazy. They were like, we need to see more of James Houston. So I think a lot of people, he gained some more fans, even more. So it's going to be interesting to see him going forward and how his snaps go there. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Miles Sanders getting involved in there, Pickens, when his number was called, he did his thing, and it was complimentary football. Outside the run game, when the first drive, I was like, oh no. But no, they figured it out. And yeah, it was just like the perfect game if they would have finished.
Or able to get stops.
Oh, they got some.
40 points.
Not that important.
Yeah,
Not when they needed
they got
to.
some.
Regulation and over.
but not when it mattered the most. Yes.
Terrible on third downs defensively.
I mean,
Absolutely
What was
horrible.
Green?
What up, Aisha?
Hello.
Welcome. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Wake up! I think we need one more. Wake up! Wake up!
Barely. No.
Wake up!
All right, Chris.
my guy. He's great. He's right on cue every time.
The third down efficiency from Green Bay, 10 of 14.
Please.
Yeah.
They were
10
first 9
14.
of 11, I think, into the fourth quarter. Sorry.
Yeah, it was painful. It was painful, and there's just really nothing like that. Like I don't know how many things feel like when you do not know if your team can get a stop. And that and if it feels like that to us,
Oh, sure.
imagine what it feels like to the offense.
I like when they
what-
pan to Dak every time the defense. Cause
I
his face-
hate it.
His face be like this. I be looking at the screen like we looking at the
Stressed.
screen.
I hate it, and then he be like trying to hype up the crowd to distract himself. It's just, but now you ladies talked about how balanced the offense was. I thought Shotty caught one of his best games. One of his best games thus far as a play caller. Him and Dak seemed like they were very much so in sync, and them deferring at the beginning of the game has been stressing me out a little bit because I feel like I understand the reason behind it. You're trying to win that middle 8, be able to double dip, be able to, take the advantage in going into the half and coming out the half. But I'm also kind of in a place too where I'm like, hey guys, I know you're looking for the defense to set the tone, but at this point, outside of last week, they are you're starting from behind, and that's putting you in a rough spot. So I'm wondering what the decision is going to be with that. But this offensive line went through a lot of shifts, a lot of changes in the game. I think at one point in time they were rotating out the right tackle, rotating out the left tackle. And so for this offense to be as efficient as they were, being able to move the ball was really dope. And I thought that the quarterback really spread the ball around, distributed the ball around pretty much as good as you could do it against a defense like this. And don't let people try to tell you now that Green Bay looked crazy last night that they wasn't a good defense. Because you know how that magically happens when the Cowboys play people. It's like all of a sudden they're not good anymore. But I distinctly remember them being a good defense. So
They said this defense would get them to the Super Bowl.
they was talking about going undefeated the
Absolutely.
week. So I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys had to choose, I know we're gonna dive deeper into the matchup, but if y'all had to choose who was just kind of your player of the game, who are you going with? Actually, no, I don't like that. Who surprised you in this game?
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I won't say. I've never seen a blocked PAT return. So yes, that's a surprise. It's the first time it's happened in Cowboys history. So that was a huge play. And later when we talk about that, I have some insight in talking with the Packers special teams coordinator, Rich Bisaccia, pregame about why he thinks there have been so many blocks. So later I want to
Tell us now.
Definitely want to hear your thoughts.
Tease, Christy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about it now. Tell us now. So Rich Bisaccia, who most Cowboys fans remember, spent several years here with the Cowboys as special teams coordinator, and he and I got to be friends, and so it's always fun to visit with him before the game. And so when we were talking, it was in generalities because not just the Packers in Week 3 against Cleveland, but just the plethora of blocks that we're seeing around the league. Okay. And so what are your thoughts, Rich? Why is this happening? And so he was saying that there's just such flux with offensive linemen these days often. And it's not just it's not just due to injury. It's turnover year to year, roster changes early in the season. So he was saying, for example, 3 of the offensive linemen that he had to help on that unit for field goals and PATs weren't with the team anymore, so we already had some changes. So also, they're just the athletes that are usually defensive linemen who are getting penetration up the middle, like the Jordan Davises of the world for Philadelphia with that block and then scoop and score. So just kind of the size of the interior linemen going against the guys with the rush. But here's what happened. The first 2 PAT tries, the guy who's farthest on the right along the offensive line, that's called a wing, and it's usually like a tight end. So they had Musgrave, which is their backup tight end, and then the person who's next to him, it's called a tight end, but it's usually an offensive lineman, okay? That guy is a rookie third-string offensive tackle who had 4 special team snaps before going into last night's game. On his second special team snap last night, allows Wanye Thomas to come through. So the wing has to take C.J. Goodwin, Musgrave has to take C.J. Goodwin for the Cowboys, who's coming off the edge and going to lay out and try and block the kick. Wanye Thomas comes in between the wing and the tight end, and that tight end, who's the rookie, Banks, didn't get a hand on him, didn't slow him down. Thomas gets the block. What happened after that, moving forward? Musgraves and Banks, they did not see the field again on PATs. They were replaced by the center, Elgin Jenkins, who took over at tight end, and then they used a defensive lineman at wing. So just as Rich was talking about inexperience being a factor, it ended up biting them with that historic play for the Cowboys.
And it's 2 points on the board.
Another
Dallas.
story. Special teams matter.
We like it. All right, we're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk. Dive deeper into this Cowboys-Packers tie in week 4. Yeah, I hate it. Sounds nasty. All right, we'll be right back with more. It's nasty work.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation, the 2025 Dallas Cowboys schedule is officially here, and limited tickets are available right now. Get ready to bring the noise as you watch your Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host NFC East rivals Eagles, Giants, and Commanders, plus Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Visit dallas.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Woo! Woo! And it was live last night.
Absolutely. Wake up! Wake up!
So do we get a sounds from the sideline on a tie?
Do we get a what?
No.
Sounds of the sideline from a tie?
You know, I think that, well, boy, that was one of the most entertaining games I can remember.
I think
so
you
there
might do.
better
You get a game
be
ball?
sounds of the sideline.
They just skip
We'll
that.
talk to Alex Lilly.
There is going to be one.
There is going to be one.
He's gonna
Thanks,
do
Chris.
one.
There you go.
So we get
Here, I'll
them
pull back the curtain a
during
little bit
tie.
for y'all.
Yeah,
Guess
yeah.
what?
Let's, Chris.
Oh, are you going to?
Guess who was Mike yesterday?
No.
Wait, you don't know.
Hoffman.
Let's guess.
Oh,
My
my
Lord.
goodness.
Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
beep, beep. It's me, like MTV.
And apparently it was pretty good, so see what happens
man.
there.
Oh, dope. Thank you for that, Chris.
You know, he should be mic'd every week.
No.
You know what? Even if he's not playing, when Cooper Beebe comes back, I still want Brock Hoffman mic'd on the sideline.
That I demand.
What was your favorite thing? Who stood out to you?
The surprise.
Dang, we didn't even. Oh, wait.
Sorry about that. I hijacked it.
No,
Talking about
that was great information.
Yeah,
That's good
facts.
information because everybody trying to figure it out.
You ain't lying.
Everybody like, what are all these block kicks? People can't kick no more.
Yeah.
Best
surprise.
Yeah, best surprise. Nicole, you go, because you
I
always
gotta go.
last.
I'm the host. You should go.
Barnacles. But best surprise.
Surprise.
I forgot.
Surprise.
Oh, I do got one.
Yes, go.
Jalen Tolbert, 100%.
Come on.
Oh, really?
He didn't surprise y'all?
He reliable. I'm telling you.
He's always reliable, though.
He's always, as far as scramble drill, I think he's one of your best wide receivers in scramble drill.
And he had some really key blocks last night as well downfield. So, yeah.
I mean, he's your second most targeted receiver last night. So I like Tolbert. I think he gained some more fans. I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of quiet. He's been quiet, so I think he showed up in a big moment.
Yeah.
That was the big part. Because if y'all would have heard everyone gasp when that deep ball was thrown, and even the broadcaster said that was a weird catch. We don't care. It counts. He's in. Let's go.
Facts.
So,
We don't care.
I'll go with Tolbert.
I'm gonna go. Oh, my bad.
No,
I'm gonna go Pickens in a way in terms of blocking. I feel like he was a little bit more active in terms of blocking downfield for guys like Turp. There was one first down catch that Turpin made, and it was obviously with help because of Pickens. So I was impressed with that area of this game because that was something that he was kind of criticized about the last, 3 weeks in terms of not only was he, quote unquote, per other people, not completing his routes or running full routes, so to speak, but he also wasn't helping block in terms of what was being asked of them as receivers. So I'm going to go with that one in terms of Pickens.
Come on.
I love Pickens interviews too, by the way. Like he's so like not, not saying he's not humble, but he's not afraid to tell you about himself. Because they were like, Pickens, how do you feel like you've kind of proven yourself here in these first couple games? He's like, that I'm a great receiver. I said,
I mean, he is.
boom.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause he definitely he shut me up.
Keep it short and sweet.
He shut me up because last week I definitely sat here and was like, "Hey, this is your
that's what I said.
opportunity.
Yes.
Show up," and he did it in a major way. I would say that I'm cheating. I'm gonna do a 2 for 1.
What?
Brock,
Not 2 for 1.
Brock Hoffman and Cooper, not Cooper, Brock Hoffman and TJ Bass, or who are the guys that not surprised me, but really stood out in this game. You could tell as this game went on, that offensive line was starting to wear on that Packers defensive line. And some of those long drives were because you were able to run the ball. Javonte Williams, I thought that Hunter Lipke, some of his lead blocking the tight ends, to you ladies' points earlier, but TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman, make no mistake about it, when you have backup offensive linemen that can come in there and kind of sustain the level of play, it's not normal in this league. We just heard Christy talk about how it's affecting special teams. This is also affecting the rest of the league. A lot of teams can't have, two, maybe against the Cowboys last week and the week before that. But most teams can't have 2 offensive linemen go down and be able to keep their offense going. And this offense put up so much yardage in the run game, in the passing game, and you had guys in and out of there. So I just wanted to highlight TJ Bass and his ability to come in, step in, and play some good football at right guard for you yesterday.
Absolutely.
Can I flip that? Because you're absolutely right about stepping up on offensive line. I just want to flip it and say, oh, by the way, the Packers were playing without 2 of their starting offensive linemen. And the Cowboys defense couldn't stop the run when they needed to and allowed too many third downs. So kudos to the Packers as well. But the Cowboys defensive line was not able to exploit some of those matchups. So
I thought the defensive line
They
played
were
better.
better.
I think they played better. I think your second level is what.
yeah, well, there you go.
I feel like the linebackers
Can
are
we
suspect.
mention one of the big changes yesterday?
I seen it.
Yeah, so Shamar James made his regular season debut, and Damone Clark was a coach's decision inactive. And then Leafau ended up getting a start and played a lot more base than what we've seen before. I don't have the snap count yet, but Leafau played more than he has on defense through the first month of the season. And then Shamar James, and they weren't afraid to put him out there late in the game, right? So, changes there. Sanborn had a very active game. And then sometimes
to
it was
put it,
from
Mama.
behind, yeah. But then we should note that Kenneth Murray was one of the 3 Cowboys that needed medical attention in the blue medical tent. His was an ankle injury. He only missed a couple plays. Thank goodness they were able to do a rewrap, and he got back out there for the end of the game. So return to action for Murray. Unfortunately, Miles Sanders with an ankle injury did not return to the game. And then Malik Hooker, your starting safety, toe injury early in the game and missed the remainder.
Yeah, I talked to Miles actually in the locker room, and he said he's fine. He just kind of got rolled on it a little bit, but he should be fine moving forward. So that's a good thing to do because now you have 2 running backs who really moved the chains for you for this offense. So, yeah, a lot of success there. But I want to talk about Dak Prescott. I feel like we haven't talked about him.
That's fun to do.
We've talked about him a little bit.
But what?
But the way that he's playing right now is honestly ridiculous. 31 completions for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown of his own. Able to obviously wheel and deal last night to 8 different guys in the passing game. Of course, it helps, when you have a run game. But in terms of Dak Prescott, do you feel like, I know the answer is yes, but just got to ask anyway. Do you feel like he did enough for this Cowboys team to win this game yesterday?
Yeah, they better get
Surpass.
Baby, you put up 40 points anywhere.
I'd be punching walls if I was Dak because I'm giving you my best ball, and this is what y'all do.
Stop.
But I liked his answer in after the game. I was sitting in the press conference room, and he had said, he's asked pretty much after every game about how he's playing because it's, at an elite level right now. And he said, this is why guys feel like they can go at 40 years old because you start to, once you get that experience and you start to, there's nothing that can match because your confidence already, you can do it. You're reading the defense. You're leading this locker room. And he even talked about, he felt like it's his responsibility to make sure the defense doesn't get in their own head. Like he knows they're not playing up to par, right? He knows that it's not great if you put up 40 points and you're not coming out with the W. But he even said like that's his job to go in there and make sure the guys are in their right mind and making sure they're staying in it, which I thought was, he's a damn good leader is what he is. So
I like that. Chrissy also, I'm sorry, before I lose my train of thought. You've been here since, Dak got drafted. What have you liked about his growth over the last, 10 years? Since 2016. So what have you liked about his growth and where have you seen him grow the most? And do you feel like this is his best ball that he's playing right now?
Well, he was awesome 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he was second in
runner-up.
MVP voting in the league. So I think he's playing as well as he did then. I think what was really impressive about last night was he targeted 9 different receivers. So again, that goes to Shoddy with some creative play calling, but also the offensive line gave him enough time, most of the time, not every time, but enough time to go through his progressions. So, and he was able to do that. The only 2 skill position players that didn't get a target last night were Brevin Spanford and then Cropper, who was elevated from the practice squad. He didn't get time on offense, so he wasn't targeted. And by the way, Turpin's numbers would have been a lot higher if not for some penalties that negated some big pickups there. Yeah, one of those penalties was early in the second quarter. Aisha referenced earlier about a rotation along the offensive line. Terrence Steele sat out one of the drives. It was, again, early second quarter. Nate Thomas came in at right tackle and played that entire series. Then Steele was inserted back in the game. Nate Thomas did enter late in the fourth and played overtime, as we mentioned before, but that was at left tackle for an injured Tyler Guyton, who had the cognitive evaluation. So, the thing is, Dak's numbers were superlative, but they could have been even better if not for self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, I definitely think been watching Dak Prescott for a while, and he just, to Bree's point, I think I think if you want to see what like player development can look like, especially at the quarterback position, I think Dak Prescott is a fantastic example of that. He came into the league as somebody that people looked at as this guy who was mobile and all those things. He has elevated his play and really got himself to a place to where when you talk about working at the line of scrimmage, when you're talking about reading defenses, when you're talking about, I mean, some of those plays, a lot of the plays last night, he checked into.
Yeah.
You just knowing the right thing to do, using his cadence, using hurry up. I mean, again, he is at that level where he is matured into understanding everything, where he's kind of seen everything, so nothing panics him. And just some awesome play by him with everything going on around him, like Christy pointed out, with the offensive line changes and all this stuff. Him and Shoddy together, I think, are both starting to really click and understand each other. I think the play caller gets a lot of credit as well because he understands what the quarterback does well, and he's been putting him in position to do that. And so for me, I mean, I'm thoroughly impressed with how Dak Prescott is playing. But to Bree's point, I do, and I know that Dak said after the game, he's like, we're not doing any finger pointing, we're not doing any of that, all that stuff. Listen, I feel very strongly about the fact that I really hope that if they feel like there is something they can do defensively to get to at least like just improve. Because all you needed is a stop yesterday.
Yeah. And
you just needed
and a stronger start offensively. I'm sorry, until that 2-point play,
I agree.
They had 20-something yards.
I think
point of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that they were initially not taken aback, but I think it took them a while to get a feel for the speed in which Green Bay played in that front seven. And I felt like there were opportunities earlier in that game to where I would have wanted them to be a little bit more aggressive. But to answer your original question, Nicole, I think that Dak Prescott's playing fantastic football. I think this offense is starting to really feel how I thought it would in the first place, just kind of quick firing, multiple, the ball distribution, all that stuff. But they got to come on with it on the other side of the ball. They got to play for each other and kind of try to figure out how to put it all together.
Yeah, and I think Dak is also benefiting from a strong run game as well.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
bless the Lord.
And he'll be the first to tell you that. That's not taking anything away from what he's accomplished. That's just a fact.
I mean, it's football. That's how it's supposed to be anyway. Exactly. It's supposed to be like that anyway. Like I love that the run game is playing better. I thought Javonte Williams had some fantastic pass protection checks as well. But I mean, he's supposed to be able to run the ball at least a little bit. Last year was not. That's not normal.
Yeah, it hasn't been the storyline here. So
you hear me? What you got, Brie?
Definitely a difference. No, I mean everything you guys said, and I just wanted to point out. Chrissy had mentioned it earlier. The penalties, both sides of the ball.
95 yards.
The interception,
Spit out my drink.
the sack for the defense when you're struggling to get takeaways and to make those big plays and to help your offense, and then they're both negated. Like, okay, that's a buzzkill right there. Because your defense isn't getting those big plays. So when you do and they're getting negated by penalties, 11 penalties for the Cowboys last night, it's never good when you end in double digits. And this is a team that the discipline looked crazy in the beginning of the game. Like the calls, the flags were everywhere. Especially in the beginning of the game, I was like, "What is going on?" I felt like even on
stuff
offense
happens for the Cowboys. When Torbert is the
well, that's what I was about to say. It was pointed out. I think Brian pointed out the history.
Oh, it was the same officials.
Of that officiating crew and just how they kind of do things. I mean, Tyler Smith 3 holding calls on the night. Those
was uncharacteristic.
Those were very huge, and you could tell that they maybe got something. Sometimes coaches will go up to, the officials before the game and be like, hey, that 73 like to get his hands inside, different little things like that. But, yeah, like to Bree's point, Christy has talked to us all the time about the hidden yardage and how big that hidden yardage is. 95 yards, that's what was frustrating
about.
6
points, according to Bill Parcells.
That's literally what was frustrating to me about this game was every time you needed Green Bay to have to methodically go downfield like you did, work the clock, all that stuff. Man, they would get an explosive play. They would get a penalty that would keep them on the field or something. You got to make offenses work for it. They cannot just be given this free yardage. I mean, 95 yards is a lot. That's 100 yards. Round up, carry to 2. So for me, that's the part that drove me nuts was the untimely penalties. And because in my mind, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, your defense is not perfect, but I think you could have got them off the field here if you didn't commit a penalty. And to Bree's point, you just can't have that when you know your defense is already struggling. And so I know those had to hurt so bad, every single one.
Especially that Trayvon Diggs interception that was wiped out for the 12-man on the field.
He was pumped.
That was a good play by Jordan
LaFleur
Love.
and
Credit
LaFleur.
LaFleur and Love. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers going back to Favre.
I was about to say,
excellent
they've
at that.
always been
They're
good
excellent.
at that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but Ezeraku, that penalty, the
Poor thing.
giving him the business, a little bit of a shove, not egregious, but enough to draw a foul. And then the Leah foul penalty was really crucial as well.
That was not great.
Well,
We're going to take our second break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, dive into this defense and what you liked, what you didn't like, up next in our next segment. We'll be right back.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Countdown to what? One more time.
I'm not doing this.
so God.
Too early.
Good morning. Welcome back into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Wake up, wake up. You talked about the countdown. Well, wake up. Thanks, Chris.
I was waiting for it.
I like how he does it where he's like cutting off the end of it.
I don't know why.
I don't know what he's doing with the sound.
Cutting
of
off
it.
the end of it. Wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? She made that up. She didn't make it up.
No, it's kind of like an
Staccato.
Wake up.
There you go.
Okay, that's
he's making it fade out.
Yeah.
He's making it fade out.
I'm not making it fade. Wake up! That's
I'm
not,
done.
You're
I think it's
sick.
better. I know. Fine. Sick. Cowboys defense giving up another 40 points this time, but 30-plus point game. And 3 straight games now defensively. Obviously, some things to clean up there as weeks go on, but just, what were some of the things that stood out to you that Matt Eberflus kind of did that you saw some improvement from week 4 against the Bears, week 3 against
Well, they got a takeaway. Thank you, James Houston.
Yeah.
Sack, strip, fumble, hit the trifecta on one play, and that was the lone takeaway of the night because, as you pointed out earlier, Trayvon Diggs' interception was negated by a Cowboy penalty. So, too many chunk plays. I think I know you asked for a positive, but
I know I'm saying.
but it wasn't just, it was chunk plays in the run game as well, and that was troubling to me.
Yeah.
And you may change it. Let me also mention the way that they handled cornerbacks, okay? So you had Deron Bland returning from the foot injury. He and Kyer Elam and Trayvon Diggs did a rotation at the outside. They left Reddy Stewart on the inside. So instead of Deron Bland coming back and playing in the slot, they left Reddy Stewart in the slot so that they could spell Bland. He was on a pitch count of a little over 40 plays. And then Trayvon, because of actually had a cyst in his knee last week. And so they had him on a count as well. So you had Diggs didn't even start the game. It was Kyer Elam getting most of the work, Deron Bland getting a lot, and then Diggs working in. So that was their plan at cornerback.
Yeah.
Christy?
I just have more questions than answers after this game.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. Schottenheimer had said expect changes, the little teaser on defense, and I was not expecting Damone Clark. I want to know what he did to this coaching staff, because I did not expect him to be the sacrifice lamb here with that group. And I feel like the stats, I don't know about you guys, like if you look at the stats on defense, like Sanborn leading, but I feel like he's getting the most opportunities to mess up. And I feel like the last game I was kind of looking more at the defensive line, and we keep talking about the linebackers and the issues. They don't have one consistent linebacker that they can rely on in my eyes. Yeah. Somebody's getting tore up. I was a little disappointed. I'm a big Maris fan. And I was rooting for him, but I think he came out there and just didn't do what you wanted when you're given that opportunity to get those reps that you've been told that you've earned. Yes, the costly penalty, but I saw him miss some tackles there and get beat. Take some bad angles. Sanborn, I think, continues to take bad angles. And I'm looking to try to figure out, like, I think he just, like, ran straight at someone and just got totally swiped out. And I'm just like, and then it was costly. And then it was on one of the Jacobs drives. And then I want to point out, to your point about the run game, Josh Jacobs wasn't having a great season thus far. He was still Green Bay was trying to figure out their run game. And I hate that they figured it out against the Cowboys, because coming into that game, Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns in 3 games. He had 2 in the one half. So I think that's
Wilson
a little bit telling.
Good, the backup.
And it just feels like teams figure stuff out against the Cowboys defense.
Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome is insane.
But the linebackers, they need something.
Sick.
Like, something is not right there. Like, it's just a lot of holes. I got a lot of questions. And the secondary, I was, what I saw Jane Slater tweet about Diggs, he said before the game, he was as surprised as everybody else that he wasn't starting, because he felt like he went in and, played adequately, if you will. I was very surprised that Kyer Elam got that start over Diggs.
No, I thought it was probably more had to do with the fact that the
well, that's what Diggs had said in his.
Diggs weren't 100% in terms of what
physically
were being expected.
Well, that's what he said. That's why it surprised me. So it was a little different than what I just heard from you, because when I came into here today, the last thing that I saw was him telling Jane that he was surprised that he wasn't starting. So
I wouldn't. I was like, well, duh, your needs seem like you need to.
They're targeting you. They're definitely targeting him. But I mean, the second, But
no. I mean, defensively, I want to say I thought that I still have to look at the film. It's too early in the morning. But I thought some of the things that you look for Jadeveon Clowney, you did get to see. You got to see him coming up, setting the edge. He's so long.
Yeah.
He's such a long player. He looks
like
so
a
different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He's so long.
In the NBA.
You see him
long
extend
arms.
you see him extend his arms, get guys off of him. I thought that the defensive tackles also really kind of helped to set the tone early with Kenny Clark. Marshawn Nealon, can't wait to get a look at his snaps, but I feel like he might have been the odd man out with some of the stuff that was going on. But anyway, Donovan Izuraku starting to see him engage in the run game, get off a tackle, shed more, and then also too he's getting around that edge. So I feel like the defensive line is starting to figure out some things. Obviously, you guys mentioned James Houston, what he was able to do, get him more snaps, kind of figure out that side of things. But that second level, let me tell you, they saw something on film and they attacked it all day. Not only did they attack you with the screen game, quick outs, they did little whip routes inside. I mean, they attacked your second level all day, and there was nothing you can do about it, whether it was pass or run. I mean, Jack Sanborn, it's just the speed is not there for him to get there and make some of these plays. And furthermore, there's times where he's taking bad angles, like you ladies mentioned as well. And Marist, now we see, I mean, and that's been something that I saw from him on film when we talked about his college tape, is playing under control, setting his feet, trusting his eyes, not guessing. And we just saw some of that yesterday. Poor Shamar Stewart, that nugget just got thrown out there because he was, they're trying to figure something out. They're trying to see, okay, just trying to put a Band-Aid on it, trying to figure out what he can do. And he was getting run past too. I mean, that second,
everybody's getting work.
Something has to be done. Like, something has to be figured out at the second level because good teams are going to attack you there. And it was just rough, y'all. It was rough there all night.
Yeah. Well, they've got some time to, not really, a week to figure things out defensively. And hopefully offensively they clean things up as well because it wasn't pretty to start. Not scoring on their first 3 possessions. So, yeah, a lot of things to clean up. Hopefully the Cowboys can build on some of the things that they did well. But
A tie.
The Cowboys, I don't even know. You can't even say they fall. They went like...
They too grown.
They showed up.
They draw.
It's too grown
They
for
showed up.
this.
Once every 56 years.
That's crazy.
The NFL's too big and grown for this.
A tie. I like
tie.
you both. I want to date you both.
No. I want to date you both. Is sick. This is not The Bachelor.
That's what happened.
On that note,
He was there last night.
Kissing your sister.
The Bachelor.
we're done.
Last
On
night.
that
Y'all
note,
saw him?
it's a great show. For Brianna Aldridge, Christy Scales, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?